the best and fastest way to learn Russian is using language islands. If you want to speak, you want to learn the sentences you want to be able to say in real life. If you learn all the sentences that you want to use in the conversations you normally have and in the situations and scenarios you normally have or that you will have in the language when you actually have to speak Russian in real life, you need to prepare language islands for them. And the best way to do it, or the most efficient and fastest and easiest way to do it, is doing exactly what I'm doing right now on my screen. Um, if you try to come up with everything you want to say in Russian, so you write it everything in English and then you translate it and you create audio files to then use as language learning materials, you will come up with a bunch of things, but there's going to be a lot that you forget, and you'll have to come back and write more and more. This is inevitable. It's impossible to, uh, in just one session, come up with everything you want to say in a language, right? You'll have to do many sessions. The problem is then you have to sit down and take some time and do a work session just to create your materials. So the easy solution is doing just this, what I'm doing right now. You can use speech notes or any other speech to text software like this one, where you speak to the computer or even better to your phone, and you get a transcript. And it's quite messy, but then you can simply um, you can edit it with AI with good punctuation, and it'll look good, and then it'll be ready to be translated into Russian. So basically, you should do this. What I'm doing right now, just speak to speech notes, and get a transcript to then use as language learning materials. So you can do this several times a day. If you commute, if you go to work every day and back, you just take 5 minutes before work and 5 minutes after work, and you talk about work there. And on the way to the gym, or even between sets in the gym, you can just pretend to be sending voice messages to someone, and you just talk about whatever. And you can do this at any point, really. Like there's no real limit to uh, when and how often you can do this. You can do this all day. Just pretend to be sending voice messages to uh, someone else, not just to yourself. So even if people know that you're recording it for yourself, who cares? Like you're creating language learning materials, right? So you just send lots and lots of voice messages to this thing about anything and everything you normally talk about, everything that comes to mind, just say it, and then you'll have thousands of sentences ready to use, right? And you'll get a huge, messy text like this, but then you just copy it, paste it in ChatGPT, tell it to rewrite. Just give it like basically this prompt: rewrite this with good punctuation and short and simple sentences. This is important. Short and simple sentences are much more useful when you want to learn to speak a language. All that B2, C1 stuff, the really long sentences with the fancy stuff, avoid all of that until you can speak fluently. Short and simple sentences, even in your native language. And I tend to sometimes speak a lot and quite messily, but I know that, but even in my own language. But when you use short and simple sentences when you speak, your speech is much better organized. It's much easier to follow, and you communicate much more clearly. And this is especially true if you are speaking a foreign language. Um, the three rules of effective communication are using the right speed, so not too fast, Not too slow, most people don't do that, but we tend to speak too fast, including myself. I have to check myself often. Not speaking too fast, finishing your sentences. Even in our native language, we do this a lot. We just leave our sentences unfinished. We speak really messily. And the third one is using short sentences. Unless you are really good at speaking, even in your own language, unless you're really articulate, use short sentences and you'll communicate much more clearly. Well, foreign languages, this is even more useful for foreign languages. So, all of this, when you are rewriting it with ChatGPT, rewrite this with good punctuation and short and simple sentences. This prompt will be really, really useful, right? And that's it. That's it. This is what you need to do.